welcome to my channel. My name is Judith, and I am a writer and author of Meet the Three Princesses, which is my very first children's book. And so today I wanted to talk about how I wrote, edited, and self-published my very first children's book. So stay tuned if you would like to know more. So I am somebody who has been writing for a while. I have been writing short stories, essays, and all kinds of things, more like adult literature, my whole life. But I never really got the idea or felt inspired to write children's books until last year, like early of 2021. That's when I got the idea, and I actually wrote my first children's book, Meet the Three Princesses, and then I decided to pursue, writing it and publishing it. And so I ended up doing self-publishing and also going through a Kickstarter campaign, which I will talk about in another video to talk more about that. But so first thing, when I first started writing it, I really didn't know exactly what I was doing. I had the idea in my mind as far as the structure, the right age group, the right style and wording for the age group was not really something that I was familiar with as far as writing it. So I had to do a little bit of research on that. But so after reading a couple articles and watching some YouTube videos of other people who wrote children's books, I just decided to go for it. And, I wrote my idea. I just wrote it all down like I would normally do if I was writing like a regular story. And because that's the first thing, is that when you're writing the first draft, you don't really have to worry much about making it perfect or making it sounding right. The most important thing is to get it on paper. So I would say, if you have an idea for a book, a children's book, or any type of writing idea, start by writing it down and don't worry about how it's sound, grammar, stuff like that, because all of that will come later. So yeah, I wrote it. The story came to me very easily. I use a lot of my background, my experiences, and my culture as inspiration to write. So I am from Haiti originally. I was born and raised there until I was 11 years old. And so a lot of my ideas came from, my Haitian culture, stuff like that. So the story is a story that takes place in Haiti. As you can see from the cover, there are three little girls. Two of them are in school. This is their dad, and he is a bus driver. You can see back there, this is his bus that he drives, and it is a story about a loving, close-knit family, and who are hardworking. I wanted to show a more positive side of Haitian culture, about how families who live together actually do things and how they raise their children. So the family, so yeah, after I wrote it, I did go through a period where it was just sitting there on my computer. I really wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it, because like I've said before, I've been writing more like adult fiction and nonfiction for a long time, and I always thought it would be, I would be like publishing a novel or something like that first. So after a few weeks, when I wrote it, I decided to go back in and kind of edit it again. I did a good 3-4 rounds of self-editing to help the story come together. And I added some stuff. I took out some things, and then had new ideas, stuff like that. And so I did self editing first, and then I also started doing research about things like illustrations and editing. So that's how I first got my first editor. I am, at that time I was spending a lot of time on an app, on the Clubhouse app. I think everybody knows it by now. And I was in a lot of writers' room, a lot of um, reading rooms and book related rooms. So that's how I found my first editor, and so I decided to go with her because she worked on my first book, my poetry book called Breakthrough to New Beginnings. So I decided to hire her again as my editor for the children's book. So yes, so I hired the first editor, and um, she turned out that she was actually very busy, so it took her a while to give it back to me. Um, like I would say about 3 months. Um, and during that time, I had started writing some other books, other children's books, and also was going back to this book again and writing it, and like still changing some stuff, still editing myself, even though I would say, if you have something that's being edited, then maybe, wait until after you get it to like do some edits. But I kept, changing it. And then by the time that I got it, I had a lot of new ideas that I felt would be even, that would be important to include in the book. So I changed it a lot. So even with her edits, which was great, I decided to keep working on it, and I, added the things that new ideas that I had and stuff like that. So after I did work on it, when I got her edits back, I also, um, took a few moments to do some more research, and by that time I was reading a lot of other independent authors of children's books, so they were really inspiring, and I decided that I wanted to publish it, and I would do whatever it took to get it out there. And so um, I decided to do a Kickstarter campaign because, as you know, illustrations for picture books are very expensive, and one of the great ways to get the funds to be able to do that is by crowdfunding. And so, but like this is going to be another video. So right now, I just wanted to focus on getting the book out there and writing it and publishing it. And how I found my illustrator is it was actually recommended to me by another person that I was looking into getting the book translated, because from the very beginning I wanted it to be translated into French and Haitian Creole, since it's a story that is about Haitian little girls. It takes place in Haiti. So while I was doing research in that and talking to people for this translation, they referred me. I was also asking about illustrators, and they referred me to my illustrator, who did a great job, by the way. The illustrations are amazing. So every page has its own set of illustrations, and very colorful, very true to the story. So I feel like he really helped me bring the story alive. His name is Rodney Cernan, Haitian American illustrator. And so it was coming together, and the last thing was when the Kickstarter kicked in, and people started to support it. I had a lot of support, and people just realized that this was an important project that should be out there. So as far as publishing it, and when it comes to self-publishing, there are different platforms that you can use, but the most biggest ones probably are Amazon, KDP, and Ingrid Sparks. And I did both. I uploaded it on Amazon, KDP, both for the ebook and also the paper back. And then I use England Sparks for the hardcovers, because England Spark is not free to publish on. However, Amazon KDP, you can upload as many titles as you want. And the reason that I did not do my Amazon KDP for the hardcover is because they have like a 72-page minimum requirement for hardcovers. And for a children's book, it's not going to be 75 pages. This book came out to be about 30 pages altogether. So I went with England Spark to distribute the hardcovers for me. So if you are publishing a children's book, before you publish it, the only thing that you have to make sure you get right are the illustrations, the design of the book inside and out, as well as the front and the back cover. As you can see, I did have a little problem with these, with the back cover, where like right here, the head is like just a little bit cut off, but we had to fix that. And but other than that, the formatting of the book as well is very important. There are different platforms. You can either hire someone to do that for you. My illustrator did the designing of the inside of the book. And so yeah, once you have those files and prepared and ready to ready to go, then you can upload it. You would have to do research on the right category, the right little blurb that you will do for the back and also for the descriptions, things like that. It is a little bit of a process, but I would say it's for me it was fairly easy, because I did publish a book before, a poetry book, but so I was familiar with KDP and England Spark. So once I did that, then set the date, and that was it. The book was published. I actually published it on my birthday, which was January 11th of this year. And so because everything was still on Zoom, I did a Zoom like release party. There were a few people that came, and had a lot of support. Everybody was excited about it, and it was great. It was amazing. And so this is how I wrote and published my first children's book, Meet the Three Princesses. And I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely proud, and I just cannot wait to share more with the world about it, and about the series, and more books to come. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I am on Instagram at judithsbooks LLC, and also my personal page is Judith Lanique Francois, my full name. Everything will be down below. If you would like to get a copy, I will also have the links. It's also judithsbooks.com, also on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.